This video is entitled My Favorite Biblical Hero, the Apostle Paul. If I had to choose my favorite biblical hero outside of Jesus Christ, it would be the Apostle Paul. What makes Paul stand out to me is his credible transformation. Before he became a follower of Christ, Paul, who was originally known as Saul, actively persecuted the early church and Christians. He believed he was serving God by opposing the early church. However, everything changed when he encountered Jesus on the road to Damascus in the book of Acts chapter 9. That encounter completely transformed his life and purpose. I admire Paul because his story demonstrates that no one is beyond the reach of God's grace. If God could take a man who once persecuted Christians and use him to become one of the greatest missionaries in history, then God can transform anyone's life. Another reason Paul is my favorite biblical hero is his perseverance through his suffering. Through his ministry, Paul endured imprisonment, beatings, shipwrecks, rejection, and numerous hardships. Yet he remained faithful to Christ. One of my favorite passages is found in the book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. We all know that one, when Paul writes, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." His faith remained strong even during those difficult circumstances. As someone personally who has faced personal challenges, including my military service, a long law enforcement career, health struggles, and the recovery of my spinal surgery, I find Paul's example very inspiring. He teaches me that hardships do not have to define us. Instead, God can use our own struggles to strengthen our faith and to help us serve others. Paul dedicated his life to sharing the gospel. Through his missionary journeys and letters, he helped establish churches and encourage believers to remain faithful to Christ. Much of the New Testament was written by Paul, and his teachings continue to impact Christians around the world today. In conclusion, Paul is my favorite biblical hero because of his transformation, perseverance, faithfulness, and his commitment to spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. His life reminds us that God's grace can change anyone, and that faithfulness to Christ is worth every single sacrifice we encounter. Thank you for listening, and God bless.